Genocide that shocked the globe a quarter of a century from the day it began. Earlier, Rwandan President Paul Kagame addressed an event to mark the death of about a tenth of Rwanda's population in Kigali. A number of heads of state are in attendance, including former South African President Thabo Mbeki. In marking the start of the commemoration events, President Kagame lit a flame of remembrance at the Kigali Genocide Memorial. About 800,000 Rwandans were massacred on April 7th in 1994. 70% of the minority Tutsi population was wiped out then, and over 10% of the total Rwandan population.
Our bodies and minds bear amputations and scars, but none of us is alone. Together, we have woven the tattered threads of our unity into a new tapestry. Sisters became mothers. Neighbors became uncles. Strangers became friends. Our culture naturally creates new bonds of solidarity, which both console and renew. Rwanda is a family. That is why we still exist, despite all we have gone through. There is no way to fully comprehend the holiness, the loneliness and anger of survivors. And yet, over and over again, we have asked them to make the sacrifices necessary to give our nation new life. Emotions had to be put in a box. Someone once asked me why we keep burdening survivors with the responsibility for our healing. It was a painful question, but I realized the answer was obvious. Survivors are the only ones with something left to give, their forgiveness.
Well, today marks the 25th anniversary of the Rwandan genocide, when an estimated 800,000 people were killed. Let's chat now to Rwanda's High Commissioner in South Africa. That's Vincent Karega. He's on the line from Cape Town. Good afternoon, Vincent. Before we get into today's commemorations, I just want to garner your reaction to some news that's coming in now, that the French President Emmanuel Macron is moving to declare April 7th as a national day of commemoration of the genocide in France.
I think it's very welcome. It's important that what happened in Rwanda against the Tutsi population is known to the world, so as to help people to avoid similar things happening in their country and to build more values for humanity to unite and work together.
Rwanda has accused France of complicity in the mass killings repeatedly, and it's a charge that has been denied by parents. Now, Macron has ordered a probe into his country's role in this genocide. Is this an investigation you will welcome at this point?
I think we welcome any positive move of acknowledging the wrongdoing and committing to a better future together. What we don't like is denial or falsification of history or arrogance towards the survivors. But we do appreciate most of the steps now taken by France under the leadership of President Macron.
All right, a day of deep reflection and remembrance. There is an event, I understand, going on in Cape Town just now. Do you want to fill us in on that?
Sure, we normally do it every year whenever we have Rwandan communities and their neighbors, the friends from South Africa and so on. So today, now actually, we are in the Holocaust Center in Cape Town with Rwandans, with South Africans, with Jews, and we also join the efforts, the national efforts of commemorating. We shall do the same in Johannesburg on the 18th of May at the Holocaust and Genocide Museum in Parktown North.
We heard President Kagame there earlier. You would have heard on that clip saying that he's often asked why the burden of reconciliation is placed on survivors. What can you tell us, Mr. Karega, on the degree of reconciliation that we're seeing between survivors of the genocide and perpetrators at this point on the ground in Rwanda today?
It's amazing, the fact that Rwanda is among the most peaceful our security countries. It's a great sign that the people are living side by side, no matter what happened, without expressing any violence, any attempt to revenge, but talking together. And thank you very much to our culture and our faith in a brighter Rwanda. So many people have confessed what they did, and so many other survivors have agreed to forgive and live side by side and work towards a better country. So reconciliation has been a great deal in our country, and most of the Rwandans who are in other countries as refugees or are fearing justice or so on have returned to the country. That we only remain with very, very few still abroad, but most of the Rwandans, about 13 million now, are within Rwanda, living side by side, working together and progressing together.
Vincent Karega joining us on the line from the mother city there. Thank you so much for your time on the SABC News Desk. Let's move on. Our tense standoff between Sudanese security forces and anti-government protesters continues in the capital Khartoum. This as thousands of